Hi there, this is Grumpy Opinions. Let's get on with the show. Snowpiercer is a TNT show that's on Netflix. It's all about a giant train going slowly around the world in a snowy dystopia. Episode 203, A Great Odyssey, starts out with everybody on Big Alice waking up to Icy Bob getting put into a freeze tank to build up his tolerance to the cold. Otherwise, everything's on track for Melanie's probable suicide mission off to the Geocenter, where she's going to go and do something sciencey to help figure out how long it is until the world warms up again. And of course, she needs to get some tech to do that, and the tech is all on Big Alice. So there's a wee meeting at the border, and Leighton makes the smart move to offer them some food, knowing fine well that the Big Alice crew are pretty much starved of everything that isn't spam. After that, it's time for Mel and Alex to have some mother-daughter bonding time, while Till and Roach try to figure out the spate of finger chop assaults, and they reckon it might just be the Breachers, who are doing kind of a Switzerland and trying to keep out of everything. But they've got absolutely no qualms about pointing out that they really are Wilford people through and through. Meanwhile, Leighton spends a little bit of time with Popsicle Josie, who's having a bit of a sad time of it, but she's kind of happy that he's got a baby on the way because it's hope for the future. And soon enough, it's time for the big push down this other alternate track. And for some of that, they're going to need extra power. The trouble is, to get that power, they have to shut stuff down, so that means the whole of first and second class need to get really, really cold. So everybody just gets shunted into the night car to have a big party, and hang out with the overenthusiastic priest guy and Chips and Beans Katy Perry, who's drunk out of her gourd. Leighton, on the other hand, decides to hang around in medical, which is a separate bit, so he gets to stay there and see quite how crispy Josie got after her freezer burn. And they end up hitting the bad bit of track, and wouldn't you know, the train crashes. Absolutely everyone died. The end. Nah, I'm just kidding. Obviously it's fine because, episode 3. Yeah, that makes Alex a bit sad because that means her mum really is going away and might die. And Wilford really doesn't like her showing emotion.
That's the last tear I'll allow.
It's the last one you'll get.
But as for Melanie, well, she says a couple of bye-byes and gives Alex a wee hug and then hops off into the snow. And on to almost certain death. So what did I think? Well, you might actually be thinking, well, that was kind of a short review, and you'd be right, because even though this week was a standard 45 minutes, most of it was actually character stuff and a lot of similar scenes of the characters discussing things and doing emotive things. I mean, particularly the scenes with Alex and Melanie, which they weren't bad scenes, and that's the point. I was actually really liking the way that Rowan Blanchard, who plays the role of Alex, I've never actually seen her in anything else, but apparently she's actually picked up a few awards in her youth, and she's doing really well here, just playing this character caught between two worlds. Similarly, this week was very Melanie-centric, and as I said last season, it's hardly surprising that the show's single Oscar winner actually might do a bit of decent acting on it now and again. But I'm surprised that the plot has her effectively leaving the train for a month, or so it says, or it could be longer if something changes, or if they miss the rendezvous, or if, honestly, this could be a way of her just getting written out the show. It is possible. So if she isn't in it next week, then that might just be her from now on. I mean, maybe, or possibly she just wanted a week off to hang out with her husband on the set of WandaVision. Because, in case you didn't actually know, Jennifer Connelly is married to Paul Bettany. So yeah, I'm actually currently reviewing a husband and wife pair of TV shows. How bizarre. And other than that, a lot of this week was set up and oddly specific groundwork. A lot of little character beats that actually felt kind of subtle and underplayed, like, all the stuff with Sarah, Leighton and Josie, and especially this little exchange which kind of spoke volumes.
They're not moving the patients from the clinic.
You going to see Josie?
She's there all alone.
Yeah, go be with her. Right this way, guys. Come on.
And all the little bits between Wilford and Alex. But in some ways, the show still does feel like it's being a little bit cagey and slow, and that's fine, I suppose. But I also do remember last season, and that it was a little bit slow and interesting at first as well, but then everything went absolutely daft around about episode 4 or 5, and every week from then on it just got stupider and stupider. So, while I won't pretend that this week was bad, I will say I am not going to put too much hope in things. The one thing I would say, though, that I'm not that interested about is the whole story of Till the detective and the missing fingers mystery, mainly because A, it's just not that important, and secondly, I reckon it's the priest. I mean, I could be wrong, because, the breakers seem a little too obvious, so is LJ. So, no, I reckon it's going to be the priest, because why else did he suddenly just turn up and suddenly starts appearing all the time? But we shall see. And otherwise, to be honest, this was shockingly okay. So yeah, actually I kind of wish I'd watched it a wee bit sooner, because I actually left it off until Sunday night, and I'm only just getting it written up and done now, so yeah, I will get into episode 4 as soon as possible, because that's already out, and who knows? Maybe Snowpiercer's turned itself around and it's actually going to be a decent show. Stranger things have happened. So till next time, these have been my grumpy opinions. And a special thanks to all my patrons, and most especially my top tier patrons Judith Coloma, Laurie Laporte, and Michelle Forbes. Thanks guys, everyone keep it real, keep safe, and take care of yourselves. Bye bye.